Hi, I'm Laura Hoy for Benzinga, and here's a look at what you can expect from the markets today, Thursday, October 3rd. The U.S. entered its third day with a government shutdown as Democrats and Republicans in Washington failed to come to an agreement over an emergency spending bill. Share markets were resilient as most investors are expecting central banks to continue with accommodative monetary policy. However, the dollar fell to 8-month lows. Italian Prime Minister Enrico Letta won a confidence vote on Wednesday after Silvio Berlusconi surprised everyone by abandoning his efforts to topple the Italian government. Amid growing concern about terrorist activity and North Korea's nuclear capabilities, the US and Japan have reworked their defense guidelines and added a second ballistic defense radar to Japan's western coast, as well as sending 5,000 additional US Marines to Guam. The International Monetary Fund may lose some of its credibility next week at the annual meeting, as emerging markets are likely to express their frustration with the lack of progress on a promise made 3 years ago to give emerging markets more of a presence on the IMF board. SEC Chairman Mary Jo White has raised questions about self-regulation among stock exchanges, saying that they've become for-profit organizations that compete with one another, and their regulatory responsibilities have become secondary. Asian markets were mostly higher on Thursday as emerging markets gained from the US government shutdown. The South Korean Kospi was mostly flat, and Indonesia's JSX Composite was up by 0.71%. The Japanese Nikkei had minor losses of 0.09%. European markets were mixed on Thursday. The UK's FTSE was up by 0.24%, and the Eurozone Stock 600 was mostly flat. The Spanish IBEX lost 0.18%, and Italy's MIB gained 0.11%. In commodity markets, energy futures were lower, Brent futures were down by 0.08%, and WTI futures were down by 0.38%. Gold lost 0.73%, and silver was down by 1.17%. Industrial metals were mostly higher, with aluminum up 0.60% and copper up 0.12%. In currency markets, the dollar lost out. The euro and the pound were both up against the dollar. The euro was up 0.25% and the pound was up 0.04%. The dollar gained against the yen, up 0.39%. Perigo added to its 1.6% increase over the past 5 days and gained 0.54% in pre-market trade. Charles Schwab lost 5.26% in pre-market trade after a week of choppy trading. Teradata lost 5.20% in pre-market trade, adding to its 4.62% loss over the past week. Although some economic data could be delayed due to the U.S. government shutdown, the Department of Labor has confirmed that initial and continuing jobless claims will be released today as expected. Other notable economic releases from around the world include Eurozone retail sales, services PMI from Spain, Germany, Italy, France, and the Eurozone as a whole. And that's it for today's Market Primer. I'm Laura Hoy for Benzinga, wishing all of you good luck on your Thursday trades.